Parents and gymnasts, are you ready to take the next step in your college recruiting journey? Full Out Collegiate Recruiting's in-gym visit program brings personalized recruiting guidance directly to you. Expert advice for gymnasts, parents, and coaches, all in the comfort of your own gym. Start the journey to collegiate gymnastics today. Visit fulloutrecruit.com to schedule an in-gym visit and take the first step toward making that college dream a reality.
I think I sprouted roots into the couch this weekend. The business meeting has life. My daughter wants me to buy the beam from Sprouts. I will explain. Two athletes apparently like men's front tumbling. And Harper has the reaction of the year. And it's only week 2. That and more. Let's go.
I say, yeah, buddy, rolling like a big shot. Corbett on the beam, right into a fish flop. Fresh paint job, fresh hair ties. Yes, the balance beam is only 4 inches wide. Are the leaps big? Are the turns good? Lean back, right hand on the fiberwood. Got sticks on the bar mat? Yeah, they living like that. Watch them throw their heads back. Just like KT said, we ready. Team straight, new Leos for many. Crank this pod, we be humming. View so big, you can see us coming.
Welcome back to the only podcast with a gymnastics-inspired rap. Every week, the College Salute Podcast, the place you go for all you need to know about how our Region 5 alums are doing during their NCAA careers. You know Kim, and of course I'm Jason, and let me be first to wish Kim a happy belated birthday. She was in Vegas, so hopefully it was more than just a business trip, Kim. Happy birthday, by the way.
Aw, thanks.
She did get her picture of her zebra cake, which we usually do at Cincinnati. But of course, we're not going to be in Cincinnati, so a zebra cake picture is what she gets this year. But I'm glad that she had had some fun in Vegas and enjoyed that. And hopefully your kids did well too at that competition. We did have quite a few Region 5 teams there. And if you follow our Instagram, our main Instagram, you'll notice the pictures that Kim posted of the many Region 5 people out there. So that was fun for her, I'm sure. I'm also very sure, as many college gym fans probably did, we watched every session, every routine, every landing and reaction of the Sprouts College Quad times 3. We have lots of comments and thoughts on this competition, so much so we have taken the EMU Bowling Green meet out of our lineup, for which I informed Katie, but we'll have them in our lineup next week, and more on that later. Some of you may have not known that was our meet because Kim forgot to put it in there. However, it probably she was foreshadowing on just the number of routines in Region 5 alums we were getting to watch in Sprouts, and so she was already prepared for that. So Kim, good job of thinking forward there.
You're welcome, not a problem.
I, however, did watch that meet, and I do have some highlights of that competition. We had quite a few freshman debuts this week, and a senior who we've been waiting to see in competition for years. And she killed it. Kim and I will debate on floor priorities, and I now know why Kim and Katie get along. And Allie, we agree, 1992 forever. We will go back in time coming up. But first, a free way to support our show is by leaving a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to the College Salute Podcast. Tell us what you love about the show or what you'd like to see improved. The review helps others discover our podcast and join our Region 5 family, which, by the way, we did have 10 new followers this past week after our podcast, so thank you to those who have joined us in our family here on the Region 5 College Salute, or the R5 College Salute. Help us continue to grow our podcast, which is the only regionally based gymnastics podcast in the country. We continue to show our love for our Region 5 alums throughout their college careers, so please show us some love with a review and a 5-star rating. Okay, I had to put my fist down again today. Fab 5 is going to remain 5. Kim had 8. We did finagle a few of those down. They're still in the podcast. She's still going to get to talk about them, just not where she intended. We are going to have a Fab 5, and that's what it's going to be. So some of these are Region 5, some of these are not related, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be. It just has to be 5. So Kim, I'm going to let you start off with this. I thought this social media, I was not prepared for this social media video when it happened, and I love it, and it's a great way to introduce what's to come.
I was scrolling through the Arkansas social media one day, and Jordan Weber and Chris Brooks and the Arkansas team are huddled up for the end of their practice, and they go, "What do we want?" And they clap. The whole team claps, and the whole team says, "A baby." And then they rip their jackets off, and they're going to have a baby. So congratulations to Jordan Weber and Chris Brooks on your expecting baby. I'm so excited for them. This is going to be the most gorgeous athletic child on the planet, by the way.
100%. Very athletic.
And gorgeous.
Maybe a model of some way, somehow. However, let's backtrack a second and restate what you had said, and clearly didn't watch the video quite well enough. The only people who knew they were going to say a baby were Jordan, Chris, and Kyla, because the kid said Arkansas or Razorbacks or whatever it was, and they said baby, and then opened their shirts, opened their jackets.
All I heard was baby.
Yeah, so they said baby. They said we want, and they said baby, the three of them, but the team said Razorbacks or something. I forget what they said, but it wasn't baby. And then they said, and then they're like, "Oh my God," like that. And then that one said, "Oh, I knew it was coming," or something like that. So anyway, but yes, congratulations to Jordan and Chris. That's awesome. And yes, number two on our list, I actually do like this as well. You put this on here, but I think it's funny because it does really like amplify landings and everything. It's really cool.
I do. I love the sound of the bars, the pinging off the bars, the swinging of the bars. I just love the sound of the bars on TV, and the podium makes it sound different too. And it always reminds me of like watching the VHS tapes as Allie of the 90s gymnastics, and you could always hear the bars. And the beam too. I like when you can hear the hollowness of the beam.
Mm-hmm. When they hit it in a flight series or a punch front or something like that. But yes, no, the echoing or just you can hear the landings and just kind of get that feel. It's always cool. I do like that. And the mics like basically right under the bar. I've seen them being put on and underneath all the mats, and kind of like what I do when I live stream. Gotta crawl under the mats to put cords. Hey, wait, I did that this weekend. And
under the vault, too.
Under the vault, and yeah, it's fun. So, yeah, miking up the podium equipment is always exciting, and that makes it for a cool, like, live stream or stream event as well, so.
At the Sprouts meet, the Kendra Scott jewelry / balance beam, I thought it was very cool. And at the meet, they had a big, like, jewelry station setup thing for all the athletes that they could go and just, like, pick a necklace, pick a bracelet, pick some Kendra Scott jewelry. Let me tell you, that is not cheap jewelry. And I got my little Kendra Scott K on, but I have like a billion of those necklaces, and I'm like, oh my God, I want one. I want to go pick Kendra Scott. But I'm gonna go get 50% off for my birthday soon. So, because you get 50% off in your birthday month. FYI, people, sign up.
Oh yes, no, I know this because my kids get this. We bought, I think, one each, I think, for Christmas. I don't. Donna and Jory took care of that, so I'm not 100% sure on that.
But you get 50% off in your birthday month.
Correct. So they do that. I know. I
use my birthday month, and I use my husband's birthday month.
There you go. Yeah, maybe we should do that. I'll sign up because God knows I'm not using it, but that's a way to get more jewelry, I guess. Cheating the way. But I don't know if she actually technically sponsored the balance beam. Why I put balance beam there is because their logo was on the beam. Definitely. And my daughter, Jordan, when we're watching this meet, says, "Dad, can you please buy that balance beam? I want a beam that says Kendra Scott." I'm like, no, I'm not purchasing a balance beam that says Kendra Scott. But she truly enjoyed. She came over by kind of over my shoulder and started watching the meet with me. And then they went to balance beam, like this shot, the camera that goes right straight into the middle, and saw Kendra Scott. And he's like, "Oh my God, I want that beam. Can you get that beam for me?" I'm like, no, the necklaces are already, the jewelry are already expensive enough. That balance beam, not happening. So she was the sponsor of the meet, and her name was on the balance beam, or their name was on the balance beam. And her name, and my daughter just went nuts because there's Kendra Scott on the balance beam. So
hey, I don't blame her. I would have too. I thought it was very cool. Yes. I would purchase the balance beam.
So Kim, you purchased the balance beam for Jory for her birthday. Okay, thank you, appreciate it.
Not a problem. I'm on top of that.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. Okay.
Oh, man. Allie and her love for the 1992 era of gymnastics.
Agreed.
I mean, I love the 1992 era of gymnastics also. However, she's talked about this a lot on like
Yes.
many a broadcast. This is not the first one. And it was funny because John was like, were you even alive in 1992?
Nope.
And no, she was not. And she, watched it on a VHS tape that her parents had or whatever. But I just always think it's funny that just many times in this broadcast, she referenced the 92 gymnastics era, but she does it all the time, which I just think is hilarious. I mean, hey, I love a good 92 gymnastics era as well.
There were quite a few that I noticed, even in Eastern Michigan, the flare outs of the Yurchenko fulls, and I think that obviously sparred a lot of it because she talked about Kim and talked about Shannon and all that stuff. But
yeah, it's a flare float.
I love 92, the 92 era. Just everything about it. I don't know what it is, like the gymnastics, the things they did. Like their gymnastics was hard then for like especially on many of the Russians or the unified team, whatever. Just it was phenomenal to watch. But I think we knew them. It was weird because I feel like we knew them more than we know the elites now, but we also knew them in weird ways, like just because of all the fluff.
Did we?
Yes, because like the fluff pieces, would give like weird ways of getting to know.
Yeah.
But I felt like we knew who they were more than sometimes we know like Simone. Although Simone we've had documentaries, so I guess that's a bad analogy,
But I understand what you mean because there was all the fluff pieces for all.
Yes,
everyone.
like everything. Yeah, every meet.
And a lot of the people in that era also. I mean, they also did multiple, like 2 decades, or they 92, 96, or
Correct.
whatever. I mean, people do it now too, but even with like all the social media and all the stuff we have now, I miss a good fluff piece.
I know, and I feel like we have social media now, but we knew more then. It's just,
that's what I'm saying.
It's like, I mean, we can see more videos and stuff about things, but I don't know. That era was awesome. That was, great, and I loved the 92 Olympics because I got the triple cast. I got to see everything. I watched it all day long. Speaking of sprouting in a couch, I mean, I would sit there and like just watch, and I videotaped it, recorded on my VHS and had them for years until I basically probably broke them apart because of the number of times I rewind and play. But no, we do agree. 92 gymnastics for sure.
Well, it was also the last great era of beautiful balletic gymnastics.
We definitely have different perspectives and priorities when we talk about floor.
Especially this routine. Madison Gustitis she's at San Jose State, used to be Legacy Elite in her club career. I am always, the champion of keep your signature skills. And for anybody who has seen her routines on our website or wherever in the past, her signature skill for me is the flip over to your back, spin around, that, like her little air flare spin to her back spin. It must be in every routine until she graduates, and then her children must do it also. Because that is just her. Like, when I think of that is her. That is not what Jason thinks about.
Absolutely not. I do love that, and I actually did a TikTok on that exact, section. I think it was at State or some meet last year. I do agree. I think it's great. No one else does it. However, okay, why do we have to have freshman things? Why do we have to get them used to the floor? Although we're going to talk about Emerson Smith from West Virginia a little bit, and she is not freshmaning it, but Madison does a beautiful full in. It's gorgeous. She's competed it literally for 2 years every single meet. She used to bring it in at the end of the year, so she's competed it for a while. We'd see it at nationals usually. But the last year or two, she's competed it all year long. That was what she did. Full in, front to double tuck. Double pike, of course, double pike. Double pike, double pike, double pike. Was it a nice double pike? Absolutely. Gorgeous. But where's the full in? Yeah. It'll be in the mid-season when they get used to it, whatever. But
what do you mean I don't understand.
I don't get used to the floor. Get used to
the floor.
Get used to gymnastics. I don't know what it is, but double pike. So yes, hopefully we'll see the full in soon because it's a gorgeous full in.
I didn't know college gymnastics floors were that different from like other gymnastics floors.
Apparently it is because we have to get used to it. We have to get used to the college experience because, the full in is different in club than it is in college. Maybe because you compete every weekend, but this is her first meet. It's like she hasn't competed yet. So, anyway. And Legacy Elite does a lot of competing. I mean, they do compete a lot. They do go to meets. So, like, she's used to competing. So, Anyway, but yes, I do agree. I love that section, and it would be a horrible situation if Madison did not have that in her routine. It just would not be allowed. But
phone calls would be made.
Right, but the full in needs to return. Some debut routines. Remember, some could be in the lineup that may have debuted every week. There was one last weekend that I did forget, and I'm going to start with it because full ins. Emerson Smith, who used to be a Buckeye gymnast, is now at West Virginia, a freshman at West Virginia. She did floor and vault. She actually debuted on floor last week, and I missed it. I went back and looked because, on the scores, and she does have a floor routine score from last week, but she did debut vault this week, so it's great. 9.85 on floor. You can see that on our Alumni Monday this week, but she did not take her full in out. And she does a full in from a round off, which most people back handspring, she's a round off full inner, and it was gorgeous. But 9.85, great routine. You can catch that on there. I think I tried to set it to your head. You watch it. I'm not sure if you did, but
yeah, I did.
But awesome, and I'm glad to see she's not freshmaning it, and she's doing a full in, which is great. But wanted to make sure that we mentioned that she didn't debut this week. She actually did debut last week, but did vault. Very nice Yurchenko full. Let's go up and start with Drake White from NIU. NIU did not have a very good day in Florida. I did watch this meet, my other meet that I happened to catch, and NIU struggled a lot, but Drake did debut on vault, beam, and floor. Very nice vault, very nice Yurchenko full. Struggled a little bit with beam, and then floor. I don't 100% remember. I think she did hit it, but they were struggling a little bit, as was Michigan State at the beginning of the meet, which was surprising, but then they killed it at the end of the meet. So they struggled on floor to start the meet, but then they did it. They got it done. They got the job done. So congrats to Drake coming out on 3 events, which those 3 events don't surprise me because she's always been good on all 3. And I look forward to soon, I think, in a couple weeks, I get to go to Northern's meet. They have one this weekend, but we have a meet in South Carolina, so I will not be there.
Hey, wait, sidetrack, random. I heard NIU is leaving the MAC. Did you hear that? Have you heard that?
I have not heard that, but I don't know them. But it would suck for the MAC. I don't know where they're going to go. But
I heard they're going to Mountain West.
Oh, maybe that's for football purposes. I bet you that's what it's for. I had already seen this vault because Kim sent it to me, so I knew that she had debuted. But then she also debuted on floor. Kendall Guy from Fisk. Did a handspring front. I don't know. Did she do handspring fronts in club? I don't remember her doing them. Did she? Okay. Yeah. For some reason, I don't remember that. For some reason, I thought she was a Yurchenko full athlete, but clearly I didn't. I'm short on that. And then she also did floor. I did not see the floor routine. I did not actually go and look at this meet. I could have. It's on YouTube. I just didn't have time to go back and look. Hopefully one meet I'm sure we'll find with Fisk, and we'll get to see Kendall compete on both events. But did see the handspring front. Congratulations to Kendall competing in your first meet. Jojo Valahovic from North Carolina debuted at Alabama, which was awesome. Good place to debut in Coleman Coliseum. She did vault, balance beam, and floor. We do have one of those up on our Alumni Monday, and I forget which one at the moment, but awesome to see that she's on 3 events. I will be interested to see, because I haven't looked, if she did the full in, or did she do a double back, front to double back, or something like that, because she also full ins. And then vault, she does a Yurchenko 1.5. So that's awesome to see. But she debuted on 3 events. Zoe Claiborne from LIU debuted on 3 events, which is awesome. Vault, balance beam, and floor. I have a strong feeling that she has some type of arm or shoulder issue, because Zoe is very good on bars and she's not competing bars. So either she's inconsistent in the routines or she has some issue, because she should be in bars, which means that she could be an LIU all-arounder, and that would be awesome to see. Olivia Gunta, Pitt on vault, 9.7. Olivia has competed at the All-Star session at JO Nationals, or at Level 10 Nationals, in the last couple years. She also was a all-arounder at Nationals a few years ago on the actual team, but she's competed on the vault for All-Star last couple of years. 9.7, absolutely gorgeous Yurchenko full. She does have my favorite pass, the whip half Rudy, on floor, and looking forward to, hopefully, should be in the floor lineup for Pitt in the coming weeks as well. Emily G I struggle with Emily's last name, Gianna Francisco.
That wasn't that hard.
Yeah, it's just I always think I say it wrong. I don't know. But anyway,
it's not
Emily
like
G.
Stefania.
That's true. Emily G. That's what I used to call her. She's from here in Illinois at Lakeshore Mount Prospect. Floor 9.5. It was a nice routine. She had some struggles with some landings, and they were not given scores in EMU, as always. EMU the MAC conference in general, but a very nice routine. She has gorgeous twisting, beautiful front double full, and she has good presentation, very nice presentation on floor. It was a very nice routine, but landings were a little struggle this week, and for 9.5, we will see her again next week. So hopefully we'll see a little better routine from her next week. Madison Gustitis, we already said, beam and floor, debuted on both events. The balance beam routine is actually in our Alumni Monday. You can check that out. And then Sammy Makasu, also from San Jose State, debuted on balance beam as well for a 9.65. Did not see that routine, but like I said, we will get San Jose State in one of our coverages at some point in time. And then I saved her for last because I had to. Haley Tyson. We all know Haley Tyson was one of our top Region 5 athletes for a long time. She's from Phenom Gymnastics. She went to Minnesota, was there for a year, maybe 2 years, I think, and then came to Iowa. And we were at Big Tens, what was it, 2 years ago? And I see her in the stands. I'm like, just, not even on the floor with the team, up there in the stands. So I'm like, well, will Haley ever do gymnastics? Well, Haley did gymnastics this week. She came out on balance beam, went 9.825 with an absolutely gorgeous flip layout, and also did floor. That I think she had to go in. She wasn't originally expected to be in the lineup. That's based on watching the meet, but she went in, and very, very nice front double. Well, she will have a nice front double full. It was a little short at the end, but she had nice Rudy layout step out is what I meant to say as a first pass, and then the front double full. Very nice, awesome. Glad to see her back in competition, but balance beam was gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. You can see that routine on Alumni Monday as well. Our D3 athlete of the week is Mia Lucero. She's not new to being the athlete of the week on our podcast. I have not gotten this floor routine yet, so we can't really talk about it. I know she has a gorgeous double pike on floor. She's from Oshkosh, another Oshkosh athlete this week. We will post it once I get it. It will be on our social media, and you'll be able to see that. She went 9.775 on floor this past week. So Mia, congratulations. You are our week 2 D3 athlete of the week. We talk about our socials, podcast socials to follow and subscribe to. Remember, you need to subscribe to the R5 College Salute podcast on Instagram. This is where pretty much all of our content is posted. Pictures that Kim takes, our podcast links are posted there, any videos that we get, any reaction videos, which I will be posting Katie Harper's reaction video of her bar dismount, the best ever. No one can top it. Hopefully someone can, but it's going to be tough. So most of our content goes here. Please follow this. This is where we basically show love to our Region 5 alums. We also have our R5 College Salute on YouTube. That's where the video of this podcast goes. Any segments, any videos, all of our Alumni Monday videos go here on our YouTube channel. This is where the wrap that Kim does each week during our alumni conversations go. And I'm going to try to get them in there somehow, some way during the season. Once we talk about some athletes, when I can kind of put an athlete or a video to the actual rap, we'll do that. Or maybe if she wants me to, we'll just put it up as a rap if she wants. But, if we don't have TikTok, then who knows what we're going to do. Anyway, and we also have our new College Salute Live. I do have some ideas. I want to keep that up. It was fun. Check out the first one with Western Michigan and Amanda Gruber on that one on our YouTube channel. And then Alumni Monday, which we post on our website, highlights of 10 routines, sometimes Tuesday. This past week, Wednesday. It is what it is. We get it up whenever I get the videos. That's when I get it up. Hopefully I'll have it up today, which is Tuesday as we record, but it may be up tomorrow on Wednesday for you guys to see. Again, Emerson Smith's full in, Haley's beam routine, many great routines from this past week 2 of our Region 5 alums. So check out College Salute podcast on Instagram, our College Salute on YouTube, and of course, every week, our Alumni Monday post. All right, we do have a slew of They Did That's. There's a lot because we obviously watched 3 sessions of the Sprouts Invitational or the Sprouts Classic or the Sprouts, whatever it was called, the college quad, whatever it was. But we're going to first start with my highlights from the EMU Bowling Green meet because I wanted to check this out, thinking that was going to be in our lineup. And I watched it, and I'm glad I did because I did enjoy watching it. Saw some stuff. Love Akpin Kim is a bar worker, and I love that for her.
Yeah, she is.
She has a raid to a bail, and she has a beautiful double layout. Okay, now, vault did not go very well for her in this meet, and she's a vaulter.
No, she
It was
decided
not
to do a push-up or a burpee right at the end.
Yes, she was wanting to show her strength. She wanted to show that she's able to do gymnastics right into strength, like CrossFit. It was great. And then beam went well. Beam was good. She's a good beam worker. She was a little bit off on her branny, but she actually pulled up quickly and was able to minimize the deduction. And then floor, she was just bouncing. The kind of landings were a little bit
bouncing.
Just bouncing.
Because the college gymnastics floor is different.
Different, yes, it's much different. Yeah. But she's not a freshman, so it shouldn't be different for her. But anyway, she's a bar worker, and I was absolutely impressed with her bars, and because she has never really been a bar worker. She's done bars with the other 3 events, and she's placed on beam at nationals several times. But I know that Kitty would be very happy with her bar work. And of course, she's from Buckeye. That's why I mentioned that. Gwen Cantu. Yurchenko full straight body down the middle of the vault.
Gwen Cantu.
I know. I can't say that. She knows I can't say it.
I know, but it's so easy. It's not like it's Amadei.
Well, yes. Well, that is true. That took me forever to learn as well. But you remember, I am from Michigan. Academics first, football second. And of course, the first. Yeah. Got it. If you watch the video, you'll understand that. But straight down the middle, that was phenomenal. The vault camera was right behind, right down the middle. I mean, I was very impressed. I was very impressed. Good shape, good form, very nice.
She traveled to the side just a little bit on the landing.
But
guess what? She's vaulting. I don't care where she lands.
Yes.
And she pretty much almost stuck it, had a really good landing. I don't care where she lands. She's vaulting.
No, she is. It was awesome. Great to see. Keely Kohler, props, girl. Your fight and strength on that bail, I don't know how you got that to handstand. That, her Maloney came off, and I don't know if her hand was just barely on, the dowel catch, whatever. And she, barely, let's go really early, barely catches the bar, first of all, and then pushes herself to handstand to get a bail handstand. Props, girl. That was awesome. You definitely showed your strength and fight for making that. I'm sure Katie was very happy. I think she jumped up 15 times, but that's usual, so we can't really tell by that. But awesome job, Keely. Props to you on that for sure. And then I do know why Kim and Katie get along.
Why?
Well, because apparently Katie is like Dan Campbell of the Lions. They're very similar apparently, and Kim is a Lions fan to the nth degree, and obviously Dan Campbell is hilarious to watch him on Instagram. I love watching him; he's so funny, and I love watching Katie and her antics and jumping up and down and doing the dances. And they did have a lot of camera of her dancing during Florentines and getting down to the music in the arena, which is normal, not new for Katie. But I now know why you like her, because she's like Dan Campbell. So there you go. So. Kim's like, yes, I liked her before Dan, but that's fine.
I did. I liked Katie way before Dan. I liked Dan.
Katie, so maybe it's you like Dan because you like Katie. That's probably
there we go.
We'll flip it around.
Let's do that. Because Katie and I have the same energy.
Yes, true. And apparently so does Dan, which is true. Yeah. So I thought that was hilarious. So Kim, you and Katie share Dan's enthusiasm, I guess, apparently.
I think we should, me, Katie, and Dan should all get together at a Lions game in a box. What? Sideline?
Sideline?
50-yard
line? Right on the 50-yard line?
Yes, please.
Down with a press credential? I'll be press. Kim's now doing media for football. There you go. Megan Bingham from Bowling Green. That was the most perfect whip double tuck I have seen in a long time. It was gorgeous.
And her huge ass Tkachev.
That's always big. You can see that whip double back on our Instagram, so make sure you check that out. I specifically cut that for that point. The rest of the routine is nice. It will be up on our YouTube channel, but 100% that whip double back was gorgeous. The business meeting now has life. If you are a consistent listener and you listen to the Ella Chamati podcast, you will understand what the business meeting means. And what I found funny is Kristen said, they're having a business meeting, but Kim will tell you all about that next week. So she didn't break news. So those of you who listen to us know exactly what that means, but Kim apparently will address it next week in the Golden Girls Classic coming up next week. So, that'll be fun, but it now has life. It's out there. For those who watch Eastern and may have not listened to our podcast or don't know about us, it is out there. And now, Kim, you'll have to do it justice.
Oh my God!
We'll be done with it for now because next week will be the broadcast preview of the business meeting. So I'm excited for it.
But I'm so glad you showed me that segment because I obviously missed it, and I've made 17 notes to myself to remember. About the business meeting because, we did that podcast so long ago that I made a note about it somewhere else, but I can't forget.
I thought that was awesome. I'm like, when she started talking about it, clearly, actually, you know what? I'll say that in a second. But no, that was just awesome to hear. And I was like, wow, that's cool. That's awesome. And then the fact that she says, and I'll let Kim tell you next week. I was like, all right.
Thank
that's
you.
Great.
Fabulous.
I'm going to do it. Side Summy shout out to Kayla Shaw. She is from Canada. She's on Bowling Green's team. Beautiful Side Summy. Absolutely gorgeous Side Summy. But I also want to shout out Canadian College Gym. They follow us. We follow them. They do similar to what we do in terms of they pick their athletes from Canada and make a little score. And so we kind of have a thing every week. Who had the highest score? I've been doing it since I think it was last year that we did it. We did it on TikTok or Twitter last year, but we're doing it now on Instagram. So that's awesome. So you can check that out. Follow Canadian College Gym.
Wait, are we having a battle between Canadian College Gym?
Yes, we are. Yes. So
I had no idea.
We won last week. We're 196.05. They went 195.95 or 975 or something like that. So we're up a little bit from them last year. Sorry, from last week. So sorry, I didn't inform Kim of this. Apparently, apologize.
This is so cool.
So go follow Canadian College Gym, and they do the exact same thing we do.
Oh my God, we should have them on the podcast.
We might have to. And one of the shows, especially with like Bowling Green or teams that have a lot of Canadian, or not a lot. Bowling Green doesn't have a lot of Canadians, but they have.
Well, we'll find some.
So we'll have to. That's a good idea, and we'll reach out and to have them do that. I really don't understand, but apparently you'll have to be more, watching for this, I guess. Now, apparently Lauren Volpe's boots are the star of the show. We saw these boots 100 times, it seemed like, all the time. They were sparkly, gray, or silver, shiny, whatever boots. Okay. So next week, when you do your...
How about this week?
This week, when you do your coverage, make sure you talk about Lauren's boots, I guess. I think that's what you need to do. Anyway. And then shout out to the commentator, Kristen. She clearly listens to our show, well, at least the Ella Chamati episode. She knew a lot of things based on what Kim and I talked about, and it was like basically what we talked about. So shout out to you. We appreciate you, and thank you for sending that out. You did mention the podcast, even though you didn't mention the name of the podcast, but you did say on their podcast or on her podcast when you were talking about Kim. And so that's awesome. It is called the College Salute, but I'm sure you know that. But anyway, thank you. Shout out to you. And we appreciate you for mentioning things that we talked about with Ella Chamati that were very, very good knowledge that the audience of EMU needs to know.
And thank you for filling in for me since I wasn't there.
Yes.
You were great.
So I enjoyed that 100%. I felt like I was there. I felt like I knew exactly what you were talking about because I did. All right. So we're going to talk about stars. We're going to talk about Sprouts, but we're going to talk about the star of the Sprout weekend was Caitlin Chiao from LSU. Freshman, 39.625. Did you see her Yurchenko 1.5? You talk about microphones.
I did.
That block, you heard it, and it went up. I mean, it was gorgeous. Beautiful. All her gymnastics is gorgeous, but that Yurchenko 1.5 block was fabulous. Awesome. 39.6 for Avery Neff, which is the number one freshman in the country, apparently. They talk about this. These two have battled for the last 2 years between Nastia and Level 10 Nationals, and it's just continuing in college. I'm here for it. Great. It's awesome. Too bad they're not in the same conference, but it is what it is. But I'm sure they'll see each other more as the year goes on, plus, later down the season. But awesome. Both of these two gymnasts did phenomenal. We have some more about Avery in a minute, but that vault was tremendous. Awesome. We have a vault that I was very excited to see. And when the camera spanned over to her, I was like, yes. Tara Walsh.
Oh my God. So listen, Tara Walsh, Clemson, she took down she went bolting down that runway, did that Yurchenko full and stuck that landing. What? Let me tell you, I am so happy to see her vaulting again because, she's had some vaulting. She's hurt an ankle a while back on the vault. She had the elbow thing at MSU. But listen, the commentator, Allie commentated. Allie. She's competed a 1.5 before. So I would have maybe prefaced that as not she's training a 1.5, but maybe she's competed a 1.5 in the past. Hope to see it again. Something like that. Because she has done it. FYI. Just letting you know.
You have to remember, these Region 5 athletes we know well, and we watch them like with a microscope, so we know things
we do
that some don't. So that's why I said, the MAC conference should really hire us because 90%, okay, I'm way over-generating, but maybe 70%.
No. Listen, it's if there's 114 athletes in the MAC, let's say, 94 of them maybe 90 of them at one point were all Region 5. Exactly. That one MAC championships I did, more than 85% were Region 5.
Yes, we could be on if
I had to do no research.
No, that's the thing is Kim could be on the camera. I can be back as doing the research and typing the things and saying the stuff, even though she would not necessarily need it. But the history and all the research and I couldn't tell you
typing the things and saying the stuff, but I don't know how to pronounce anybody's last name.
So I don't have to because I can write it. I can type it,
and I know it
with the best of them. So, but anyway, but Tara, congratulations! Awesome to see you out there. It's in the Clemson orange, vaulting you own the place. That was awesome. You put where are you, Haley Bryant? She did do beam. She has an elbow issue, so she is not competing right now on everything. It was great to see that she actually did do balance beam. Wasn't her best beam routine, although I didn't really think it was. I mean, there were some little wobbles there and there, but when I think of Haley Bryant, I don't think of 9.75, regardless of what she doesn't. To me, when I watch her, and maybe it's just because I love watching her, I don't see 9.75 routines, but that's what you got, and that's what
we're
it is.
also used to seeing her do vault and floor, and those are her bigger scoring events.
Right, exactly, and she's good on bars, obviously, as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she has an elbow issue. I'm sure they're weaning her in. She'll probably get in more as the season goes on, and definitely at postseason we'll see her a lot more. But I know you put that in there, and I just know that she has an elbow issue. She has. 2 bar routines that made debuts for new schools this week at the Sprouts Quad. Kate Parks from Ohio State. Kate was at LIU. Okay. And she transferred to Ohio State. And so she was out there doing bars. Absolutely very nice routine. Very nice Maloney tube bail handstand, if I'm not mistaken.
And she saved that handstand.
And she saved it. You're right. She did. So I was correct on that. And good, nice dismount, nice double layout dismount. Pretty good landing.
And she stuck the landing.
Did she stick it? Okay, I remember pretty good landing. But I just was like, whoa, it's Kate. That's awesome. Great to see her out there. Maddie Welgora, first routine out for Arkansas. A beautiful Jaeger, double layout, did not stick. Maddie, remember, we talk about this. You're not doing layout full out because you need to stick, right? Your layout full out is one of the best in the country.
True story.
But you're not doing it because you want to be able to stick the landing. So let's stick the landing. Okay.
Yes, let's.
Yes. So, but great routine. Great to see her out there. We're interested to see if we'll see her on any other events this year or if she's just strictly going to be a bar worker for her 5th year. But, awesome to see her out there. Glad. Ella Cesario.
Oh my God. Let me. Ella Cesario.
I will let you. Please.
Her bar routine. Oh my God. Yes, I have a fork. Her bar routine. Oh my God. We know Ella can do bars. We've all witnessed Ella do bars, but this routine was huge. That straddle Jaeger that was just floated up above the bar and she pretty much got super straight before she even caught the bar. Mm-hmm. Into the bail and then the double layouts and rocking that dismount. Ella Cesario, you are bars.
Yes, she is. Ella Cesario is an all-arounder for Cal and doing a damn good job doing it. it took a few years for Ella to really feel comfortable and but she's found it. She's found her life, and gymnastics is awesome, and bars has always been great for Ella Cesario. So
yes.
it's not a surprise that there, but yeah, definitely great routine for her. Good to see her out there. Another great routine. I don't know why Ashley Cohen doesn't get enough recognition when it comes to bars from LSU.
Oh, LSU.
995, so good. Ray Bale, one of the best double layouts in the country. Her in terms of height, shape, gorgeous, perfect landing, absolutely gorgeous routine.
You think a lot of people have the best dismounts in the country?
Yeah, they do. Everyone has the best dismounts in the country, but she has the best of the best of the best of the dismounts in the country. Okay. Until I come to somebody else who has dismounts that's best in the country, which I'll get to a full twisting double layout in a minute. That was absolutely gorgeous. And I'm not really sure where I put it because it should be in the bar area, but I will get to it eventually. Absolutely wonderful. I love the routine. I don't know why that she doesn't get as much intention as she deserves when it comes to bars, because she is great. There was a nice save on bars this week.
Yeah, I think she was just going. I think Jay-Z from Michigan was just going for like a catch one-arm giant, but that's illegal. But I don't even. Last week she fell. I think this week she was like, I am not falling off this bar, even if I have to catch it with one arm.
Correct. She didn't fall. She dismounted. She literally did 2 dismounts in a routine. She did a ray to a stomach drop last week. This time she got 1 arm, so maybe we'll get the 2 on, as John said, next time. But could she do a floor routine? That floor routine to win the session for Michigan was beautiful. Another great double layout. We talked about it last week, all about her. But yeah, her save this week was awesome.
She can do a vault too.
She can vault. She can do a beam routine.
Control those landings.
I said, watch out for her. When she gets everything under control, she's going to be awesome. Yeah. We do need to call the cops, Kim. The cops need to be called. Sky Blakely was robbed. I know she had a couple little steps, and I was a little bit concerned about her Achilles because it was on the edge of the 4-incher when she landed. I'm like, when you land on the edge of those mats, that's stretching that Achilles. But I'm sorry. A 9.7, what was it, 7.25, 7.75, 7. No, not for Sky Blakely.
Hello, 911. Yes, we want to report a robbery.
Yes, please.
Sky Blakely. Mm-hmm.
She definitely needs to be, given some score here, because that was a beautiful routine. We talk about, having some of the best bars in the country, and when we say that, Audrey Davis obviously comes to mind. However, this routine resembles that routine, and it's going to be very similar because it's very similar with the inverts and stuff like that. So Sky Blakely, we felt you were robbed. I'm so sorry, but please watch out for that Achilles. That's really scary for me watching that, because you've not been that long post Achilles, surgery. But Sloan, her sister, she's like, no. There's a Blakely still here. Watch her double front, and stuck perfectly. That bar routine was so aggressive. Like, she was like, no, my sister may be able to be good bars in elite, but no, watch me. I'm the best Blakely in this college gymnastics, and I'm just going to rock a double front. And that double front was great. Like Tony the Tiger. Great. All right, so we have some beam to talk about. Lily Lippett. She is the Clemson leadoff. She leads 3 events. She nails a gainer full off the side of the beam. Front full, not back full. Front full. Nails it.
Yeah, but let's
stay.
Before she gets to that gainer full off the side of the beam,
she has some rolls and some kickovers.
She does a front to a Corbett to an immediate back roll kickover to her knee. Hello, goodbye.
Yeah, she has a lot of that. She's got a lot of that rolling around the balance beam.
I love a good balance beam roll.
Yes, but no, that front full stuck. Gainer front for a kickover, front full stuck, like side on the other side of the beam. Absolutely great. Stick and stay. And then her floor routine. it's a bit weird.
It is a little weird. Was that your note too? Because that was my note too. Other than right there.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
It is a little weird, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
She
very weird. Yeah, very, very interesting. She does like to play. I have to say, give her props. She does play to her teammates and the crowd very well.
She does. I mean, she does the weird floor routine really well.
It's just weird.
Sorry, I love this part. She's like running like a...
Yep. Very nice double back, and I still think she could do her whip double back or whip full double back at some point in time. But then her 1.5 front full last pass is very nice too. So good job. But again, yes. But Clemson lead off. She leads off 3 events, bars, beam, and floor, and does a great job on all 3. So Kreslin Bros from Kentucky. I could stand on the balance beam, and this gymnast.
You sure
could
you could stand on the
I
balance
think yes, and this gymnast could front tuck over my head.
Oh, yeah.
I have never seen a front tuck. I talk about a couple front tucks from Legacy Elite that are very good. This one is huge. She lands straight-legged.
Her front tuck is kind of like Sierra Brooks's front toss.
Yeah. But even she lands with even
or what's her face is Arabian, standing Arabian, like. But, yeah. I mean, it's up there with that.
Yeah, Shilese Jones standing Arabian stands up. Yeah, stands up like that. But no, this punch front, holy. Oh cow. Yeah, awesome.
And she doesn't really put a lot of energy into it. She just kind of
step punch go.
Yeah,
it's great.
It's amazing.
Love it.
Speaking of front tucks, Bree Clark from Clemson does a freaking standing front tuck on the beam. What? It's just standing. I'm just gonna stand in front tuck, and she lands pretty well too, like pretty upright. But then what caught my eye, though, other than that, was her Rudy dismount off the end with the vault full technique.
I did notice that. Yes, you brought it back into my attention. I did notice that, but then I think I watched another video or another routine next to it, and then I completely forgot. But yes, no, you are right. Yeah, I did notice that.
I am. I know. I
noticed that.
Yeah, the vault full technique. I mean, hey, that's how I do front fulls because I learned to vault front full first.
Exactly. There you go.
It's fine.
But the standing front tuck is not new to you. It should not be, as Universal does it.
It's not new to me.
Every other athlete at Universal does a standing front tuck. So.
I mean, that's true. It's not new to me, but it's
right,
exactly. in the college realm.
Correct.
Very limited.
But we have many at Universal who have done or do this routine, this skill. Yes. This Arkansas gymnast is her standing layout is obviously not new either. We saw that last year, but again, go right ahead. You have to talk about it. Yes.
Calixa, Gamio, beautiful standing layout. And it's like, yes, a lot of people do standing layout, but like it's
gorgeous.
Yeah, hips rose, legs were perfectly straight. It was just like very clean. Because sometimes the back leg will bend or it'll just pike. But it was very clean. It was floaty. It was gorgeous.
Exactly.
Absolutely gorgeous.
It was very nice. I did see a back extension roll layout, not in this meet, on Instagram the other day, and now I can't remember where I saw it or why I didn't share that with you because I know you'd have loved that.
What's wrong with you?
I'm going to have to find that, but back extension roll to a layout.
Now, was it like a Shannon Miller back extension roll? Like straddle?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't remember the beginning part. No, like it went back extension roll, only one to the back layout, so step down. I didn't know how Shannon would do two in a row. Yeah. I don't remember anything before the actual extension to the step down. I'll have to figure out where I saw that. Maybe I saved it. I'm not sure. Cool. But yeah, no, her layout step out step out is very, 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 very nice.
Absolutely.
I did not see this fall. I wish I would have.
Oh my gosh. So Arkansas struggled a little bit on beam. 2 people fell, but like Callie Sweeney, she like landed on the beam in her series, her layout step out, and then like her foot, like one foot just like slipped, and she literally just seat dropped onto the beam, onto the floor. But it was just kind of like, huh? Like when you think somebody's like completely on the beam and then all of a sudden they're not,
right?
Because their feet are all over the place. It was very weird. It's like she was on the beam and then all of a sudden just butt floor. I don't know. It was just an interesting fall.
Got it. Yeah, no, I did not see that. Must have been watching something else on the side. Or I was watching, that was Arkansas. So they weren't in this competition at this point in time. But if they were, I would have probably been watching Oklahoma, and I definitely would have been watching Audrey Davis.
Audrey Davis, I just want to say thank you to you. You deserve a fruit basket because thank you for taking a 5th year. I was watching your beam routine because I was, and you were just so gorgeous.
I was watching everything Audrey Davis does because Audrey Davis does gymnastics absolutely beautifully. Not that so does the entire team of Oklahoma.
And we know the bars. You love the bars.
Oh yes, I'll stand and watch her do bars.
Her beam routine was so flawlessly good that I was just like, thank you for taking a 5th year. We appreciate you.
They only have 7 athletes competing. They're using 7 athletes, Oklahoma is right now.
I mean, what do you do?
It's amazing. I mean, it's crazy. And how good athletes they have on that team, and they're using only 7 of them. It's crazy.
It is what it is. And one of those 7 is Anastasia Webb. I mean, Jordan Bowers, who's, Anastasia webbing her way down the beam. But what caught my eye of this, I had to rewind it back, was, okay, I saw her gorgeous Corbett, but it's how she got into it. She, in her mount, then she swang her legs up, and from the squat position, she did her Corbett. I was like, that is an interesting way to get into that beautiful skill, Anastasia Jordan Bowers. But it was just like a gorgeous, unique way to get into that Corbett. It was just like, flawless. And then the rest of the beam routine, she's gorgeous. Beam things.
Yes.
Now floor
beam
things.
Now we got floor things. And CJ, I forget always how to say their last name. It's Kanuki, I think. Kanuki. She's a Cal freshman.
Well, you not being able to say it is right in line.
Exactly. But she is the daughter of one of my fellow Michigan gymnast teammates, Kelly Carfora. She was on the team. She was actually a junior my freshman year, so she was only there for 2 years while I was there. But CJ competed floor. She came in. There was an injury or somebody they pulled out for some reason. She came in. She was doing exhibition, but I know was that because she was last, and that usually means that they have to slide in. When you have to slide somebody in, you have to slide in the position that they're in, and so she went last. But great routine, great opportunity. I know I saw her. Kelly sent me her floor routine from the meet out in California. Whatever it was. Do you remember what that meet was called last week? Anyway, that they competed in the American something or whatever. But whatever it was. But she did well. She did even well here, national television. Great to see because that obviously was on ABC that session, so everyone got to see it. But it's a daughter of, like I said, one of my teammates, and I've followed CJ over the last few years in her JO career. I'd watch her at nationals, although a lot of times I would see her score come up and be like, dang it, I missed her routine at nationals because I'm busy doing things. And just awesome to see her out there. She's a good all-around gymnast too, so I'm sure as the years go on, just like Ella Cesario, we'll get to see more of CJ. So do want to throw that out there. Jordan Kane, we've talked about this last year. Her front Rudy, that's not easy. It's so hard. I can't even verbally describe how hard that pass is. But then let's take it a step more. Avery Neff does a front full to a front double full. That's even harder, obviously.
Yeah, but Avery Neff is an anomaly.
Yes, but both of these athletes are doing men's gymnastics tumbling, front tumbling, because that's what the guys do. They combine 50,000 twists. So in the routine, it comes out at the end of the routine, they've got like 25 and a half twists total in their routine. I mean, that's what the guys do. And so I would just, that's kind of my mindset when I saw this. But both of those tumbling passes are not easy. I have trained them off tumble tracks and off of things like that. So I know it's not easy there, let alone doing it on floor. So,
and that you trained it back when the floor had no springs.
No springs, wrestling mats. Yes, no, not quite that far back, but that's just awesome to see on that. And I don't remember this floor routine, but if it's as good as her front tuck on beam, it's probably a good floor routine as well.
Well, you should go watch it. And I've talked about Kreslin Bro's floor routine in previous years because it is amazing. If I had to describe her in any way, she moves kind of like Jordan Bowers in a sense. But her floor routine is just so good. She just gives the dance some way extra. And the face, the emotion, the expression, it's so good. And her tumbling's good too. But it's the dance for me. I could watch it all day long.
Yeah, it's always the dance for you.
Always.
I took a picture of this to remind myself to put this in notes because I didn't have a pen when I was watching this session. And so I'm like, I'm going to take a picture of this and remember. And then I saw it when you were typing in your parts of the notes. I'm like, okay, we both have this on our thing, so we have to talk about it. Okay. Eve Jackson from Clemson, her full out on floor. Full out. Not full in, not half in, half out. Full out.
It's huge, and it's like
beautiful.
Open, and she doesn't grab anything.
No, it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's huge, and it's a full out. Back flip, then flip and twist. Not like halfway in the middle. It was flip and twist. It was so good. And I was glad that you also thought
Thought
about
it was
putting this
so
in the thing,
good.
too. Yes. So I'm glad we both were on the same page with the full out, which you hardly ever see. You hardly ever see. There's a few of them that we've seen in college, but beautiful. So
This trio for me of Brooklyn Moore's, Jordan Childs, and Shea Campbell, all different, but let me tell you, Brooklyn Moore's, her floor and her beam is just like, if this is everybody, this is her.
She's
out of the screen, because the emotion and just the showmanship, extension, the eye, everything, she is just
above the screen. Yeah.
so good. And even her beam routine, like I made a note, like she had some wobbles in her beam, but even her beam wobble is like exquisitely gorgeous and elegant. Like, how do you wobble beautifully? Because Brooklyn Moore's wobbled beautifully on beam. She wobbled beautifully on beam. Like, I just don't even, she is just, I love watching her. I could just all day long.
Mm-hmm.
And then we head over to Jordan Childs, which, girl, Jordan Childs, she is having more fun than I don't even know what, because every time she gets on the floor, it's like a dance party. Like, oh my word. So good. I mean, she has all this time to dance because she's like doing like what, 2 tumbling passes these days?
I just love her attitude. Her attitude about stuff is just so fun. And her coming on the floor, how she just kind of points to a couple people in the audience, like, hello, watch me. You're going to watch me. You are going to watch me. You're going to watch me do this beautiful double layout and do this Prince routine, which Raylan Garvey's music from last year. Not the entire thing, but it is the same music she had last year.
Okay, I'll go back
and it's
and watch
awesome. It's awesome. I mean, I love that piece of music. And she does a dive roll, a couple dive rolls. There was another dive roll. I didn't make mention of that. Another dive roll in this meet. I said dive rolls are like what to do this year, I guess. But
speaking of dive roll, the guy from LA Rams yesterday night did a dive roll over the goal into the end zone. It was amazing. See? You would have loved it.
It's the year of the dive rolls. There you go.
The year of the dive roll, and they beat the Vikings.
In all sports.
And they beat the Vikings.
Yes.
Anyways, but I just love that she has a minute 30 of like just a dance party with like some tumbling, because
a couple tumbling
why?
passes.
Oh, I like 2. And then Shea Campbell. Okay, did you see Shea Campbell's half in, half out that she just stuck? I'm just gonna land right here. Right here. Ridiculously good. So good. Those 3. Oh my god. And then you throw Emma Malabulio in that situation.
Her beam routine was
beautiful.
Her beam routine was beautiful.
She's beautiful.
Yeah.
More floor. Clemson, hello. Madison Minor and her Motley Crue floor routine. Yes, all day long. Let me listen to it again, because what? What? I love Motley Crue. Oh my god. Yes. All day long. All day long. And then, we have Jaylene Gilstrap, and that I don't have to say words. Everyone should know, because everyone should know.
Yeah, we've talked about that already.
Yep, everyone should know my feelings.
If it's on the screen, you got to watch. Just got to watch.
And you got to watch silently.
True.
Moving down to, some other things. MSU, let me tell you, just really quick. I looked at the little polls, lineup things. MSU is like up there, with OU, LSU, and Cal. Like, MSU, huh? Force to be reckoned with. And we know this, but like,
let's just hope they do well enough and they get themselves into a regional that is not one that literally is cutthroat. Everyone and anyone is in their regional, and they've got to try to beat, which is great if they end up making it out, but that's just unfair. Michigan State deserves, after the last couple of years, Michigan State deserves a regional that's not as hard, because the last 2 years have been, difficult, and they've done well, but they just haven't been able to do it. But no, they did well. Like I said, this weekend, they started a little slow on floor, but they killed it in the last 3.
You know what? I just have to say, just like the Lions and the Super Bowl, this could be MSU's year in the national championships. We don't know. Actually, we should ask the Simpsons, because they seem to predict everything.
Yeah, maybe we should ask them. There you go. You found it out.
If they start throwing MSU gymnastics on the Simpsons, we know it's coming.
True story. So, well, that is all that they did. We'll move on now to our Region 5 University, which is presented by Full Out Recruiting. Full Out Recruiting, they are focused on helping their clients reach their college gymnastics goals with resources and guidance to athletes, coaches, and parents. Through the college recruiting process, they go full out to make the experience a fun and productive one. Thank you to Full Out Recruiting for sponsoring the College Salute podcast and your continued support of the Region 5 media platform. For week 2, we, of course, the Sprouts Invitational. We had 3 sessions. And let's break it down. Tory Vetter. Tory is in all 4 of our events, just so you let you know. Very, very strong meet. 9.9 on her vault. Beautiful Yurchenko full. She does a Yurchenko full that is gorgeous. Beautiful. Caitlin Grimes, 9.85. Another one. She just nailed her vault, if you remember, at regionals last year. Gorgeous Yurchenko full. This one was a very nice one. Did have a small hop back, but it was a very nice vault. Very open, very big. Ella Cesario, we've already talked about. A very nice Yurchenko full as well. 9.825. Sid, same idea. Came up, started off vault, got Meredith, a little talk from Meredith, saluted, ran down the vault runway, and did a beautiful open full twisting Yurchenko, 9.825. And then AJ, Ava Jordan, and Faith Torres tie with a 9.75. AJ had a little bit of a pike down on her Yurchenko full. It wasn't quite as good as the one she did in Denver, but Faith blasted a Yurchenko 1.5. But of course, if we remember back at the national championships, she sat down her Yurchenko 1.5. So first one of the year, you can expect she's going to give it a little bit more. And that was the only score under a 9.875 for Faith this weekend. Faith's 9.95 on, 49.15 on vault. So we definitely did much better on all 4 events this week, as you will see in a minute. Faith, 9.95 on bars. Gorgeous, gorgeous Ray. Absolutely beautiful. Double layout. Boom. Rocked it. She's very good at that. Ella Cesario, 9.85. Hello, girl. You have some grip and core strength. Her bail out of her Jaeger basically was on one arm. She got the other arm on and just kind of swang sideways. Didn't touch her feet. Finished her kip squat on. You would never know the difference. 9.85. Awesome to see there. Tory Vetter apparently is still in the rafters on her Tkachev, correct?
She is. Did you see how high it was? So they talked about it on the broadcast, but they put their little measuring thing out.
Yep.
Her butt is 5 feet above the 5-foot line. That's huge.
That's huge.
She's like, is there dust up there? Are you still up there? Tory Vetter, where are you?
Yes, no, she's another one that is kind of similar to an Ella Cesario. Started off very slowly a little bit in college and then has just blasted these last couple of years and is doing awesome for the Ohio State Buckeyes for sure. 9.85 on bars. And then we had lots of 9.825s. I put lots of 9.825s for 4th because that's just what we have. AJ, Ava Jordan, another great routine on bars for Michigan. Lily Lippett, again, started off for Clemson. Gorgeous 9.825 on bars. Katie Harper, another great routine. She went 9.9 last week, 9.825 this week, but her reaction was epic. The tongue out, the shaking of the arms, shimmy, all this. Awesome. I will post that.
She did that last week too.
Yeah, I will post that on our Instagram so you can see that. Hopefully Kay won't mind. But Sydney, nice bars.
I'm sure she won't. It was on national TV.
That's true. Sydney, nice bar. Sydney Washington. We remember she used to have bars that had the leg separations and, bars was not her event. She's come a long way on bars. Absolutely beautiful. Blindfold double back. Caitlin Ewald. She is a transfer from Illinois to Arkansas. Absolutely beautiful handstands. Handstands. That last one locked out. Allie, of course, had lots to say about that. Stuck double layout, and then Chris's reaction was awesome because the camera was right in her, front of her dismounting, and Chris was behind her, and he's just jumping up and down, and and what have you. Love the reaction, but that was a gorgeous bar routine. I think it's actually better than it was in Illinois. Just saying that. Chris has done some work with her somehow, some way, and she was good on bars. She competed for bars most of her career at Illinois, so it doesn't surprise me she's in bars. But her handstands look awesome. 49.3 on bars this week, so that's a big bar score. That's definitely better than we did last week on bars. Faith begins with a wolf jump, Kim. Okay. her famous wolf jump. Yeah. Then proceeds to do a beautiful aerial layout step out, and then the back handspring gainer full of everybody. Back handspring gainer fulls. If you don't do it like Faith, you shouldn't be doing it. 9.975 for her on beam. Big surprise there. Not. maybe we'll get a 10 this year once they start giving 10s. We'll see. Tory Vetter, 9.85. Absolutely very solid routine for her. Strong beam work for Tory. Again, just had a great meet at this meet. Ella Cesario, I love the handstand cartwheel mount. I know you do too. I think it's just cool. There was another one that did that same mount in the meet as well. But love that mount. Very solid. Back handstand layout step out. No wobbles at all. 9.825. Jojo Warga. Sorry, I'm back in JoJo V. Back out there with beam. Remember last year she had that like crazy fall, and then she came back for a little bit, and then we didn't see her.
Then she tore something.
And she was out, and she's back for what is this 19th year? What is it, sixth year this year? I think, or something like that. 9.825, very solid routine, and she posted something on her Instagram and showed little pictures of the things that happened in the last weeks or so, whatever, and she put her beam dismount in there, perfectly stuck from full dismount, and absolutely gorgeous routine. JoJo's very good on beam. I'm glad to see her out there and being able to compete for a 6th year, and let's cross our fingers that she makes it through the whole year and continues to do what she's doing. 9.825, love watching her. We'd love to see if we could see her on floor again, because Kim and I love watching her on floor, but awesome. 9.825. And then Katie Harper, they struggled a little bit on beam for the Wolfpack, North Carolina State, NC State, but she did well as usual. 9.8 on balance beam for her. Super solid routine. Stuck her front full again this week, so that's 2 weeks in a row front full off beam. 49.275 for us on balance beam. And then Faith Torres double layout that everyone would love to have. 9.95. I like this routine. I think this routine's cool. I like all the Oklahoma's routines are they're always like so just weird, intricate, like dance. There's no poses. None of them stop moving. There's no like stop, which I'm going to get to one in a minute that I like the stop, but there's no stopping in their choreography. Tory 9.875, absolutely beautiful double back, and then a nice layout Rudy last pass. But I like her OSU or Ohio State in her routine that fits the music when they say OHIO. I can't remember the name of the music. Kim may remember, but I know it fits perfectly in there. Sid 9.85. Love the dramatic pauses. She's got section in her routine where she stops and poses, and then pause, poses, and then pause, poses. And then it says OHIO. And then at the end of routine, she tells us to be quiet. Well, we're not going to be quiet. We're going to talk about Sid all year long. So, awesome job, 9.85. Paige Thaxton. Best routine of the year so far. I mean, she's only had 2, but better full in. We're still doing like a mat and a mat, so we're still having some ankle issues, but she much better full in, much better front to double back. I mean, obviously. 9.85 to make our lineup here, and then Ella Cesario, another full in here too. A beautiful pike full in, and I love her facial expression when she's out on the floor. You can tell she has fun when she does gymnastics. She loves what she's doing, and it's fun to see. 49.375 for a 197.1. So we jumped up a full point in 1 week.
Go us.
Yes, so we have an average of 196.575 because that's kind of how they're doing the rankings versus the highest score. So they're doing the average, so it's 196.575. It currently has us in 8th. We did drop 1 spot, but of course Michigan State flew up in the rankings, so it pushed us down a little bit, I guess. But even though we don't have any Michigan State this week. We will next week, though. So 8th in the country currently. Meets for next week, the Golden Girls Classic at EMU with NIU, Winona State. Shout out to Kennedy O'Connor. Very nice Yurchenko full-on tuck-off this week. She got a 9.65 in her first meet back since her back injury, which is awesome. Kim will get to see her next week. I'm not sure if she'll pike or not, but it is what it is. Hopefully she does a good job there too. And then Ball State. I'm looking forward to watching that meet. Kim's going to be there. Kim's commentating. We'll get lots of behind the scenes next week, I'm sure. And I'm sure she's excited. I believe she's going to be dressing for the occasion.
Oh my God, yeah. I got my Golden Girls shirt ready to go. Katie has big old Golden Girls cutouts. It's going to be a thing. I'm so excited. Yes, it's
going to be awesome. We will have Bowling Green CMU as well. And then, of course, we have to have Michigan State. I mean, that's just a must. And they're all on Friday.
I would say, however, yeah. Who usually Michigan State is like on Sunday, and I go commentate first, and then I race over to wherever it is. Y'all put a wrench in my whatever this time. But you know what? I understand because Saturday is the day that the Lions are gonna, win some football.
Yes.
So we can't. Friday's fine. Everything on Friday.
Everything's on Friday. So we're going Friday only this week. So all three will be Friday.
It's all of this is in Michigan, by the way.
It is. It's a Michigan. It is a Michigan thing. Yes, all the meets are in Michigan, but we do have a little bit of a well-rounded MAC, and then obviously some D3, and then also the Big Ten right there with Michigan State. So we have our MVPs of the week, and Kim keeps me.
I just keep you guessing. You can
keep
go
me
first.
guessing. I get to go first this week. I have two, but one, the main one is Tory Vetter. Tory Vetter, obviously all 4 events. I could have put Ella Cesario in there as well because she did all 4 events, and Faith Torres, but Tory Vetter, to me, just killed it this week for Ohio State. It was just awesome to see her lead her team and do what she did in a 9-9 on vaults. It was awesome. So I'm putting her as my MVP of the week, but Haley Tyson, shout out, girl. I'm giving you MVP for a honorable mention because you just keep doing it. Keep beaming, keep flooring. It's awesome. And glad to see you out there. And I know I reached out to Marco and Jess she was through the moon. She was so excited to see that. So Tory Vetter, our MVP for me this week, but Haley, keep it up.
Mine is Ella Cesario. I was so impressed with her bar routine. And then just beam, and she floor all the events she did. She's on our lineup, but I just love Ella Cesario and her gymnastics this week. Ella Cesario just really impressed me, and that she's my MVP.
Yep, so our 2 MVPs for week 2, Ella Cesario and Tory Vetter. Congratulations. And you can definitely catch those if you missed it or didn't see it on our Instagram later this week, as we will be posting our MVPs each and every week. Our best college stick and slay, as we call
Stick,
it.
stay, and slay.
Stick, stay, and slay. We forget the stay. I put the first one on because right from the get-go, first routine out, basically, it was Clemson on beam, and she did a gainer full to a 4 gainer front full off the side of the side of the beam and stuck it cold, stayed there, and then put those arms up and held it. Lily Lippett. Done for me. That was my stick, stay, and slay for the week for me.
Well, I have 2. We did Katie Harper last week, and we can't do Katie Harper every week if she's going to do that stick, stay, and slay every week. But this week, again, I'm going to shout out Haley Tyson because her beam dismount was gorgeous. Stuck it. Just her whole routine was just exceptional. But it was just the beam dismount for me that was so beautiful. And then Ella Chamati on bars. Double layout. Completely stuck the landing, and Katie, the sleigh was all the celebration and emotion after because, girl, yes.
Congratulations, Lily, Haley, and Ella for doing what you're supposed to do. Stick, stay, and slay for week 2.
We know you enjoy our podcast and want more people to find out how awesome it is, so please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to the Region 5 Insider podcast. Thanks again to Full Out Recruiting for your continued support, as well as all of our listeners. We could not do any of this without your support. Follow us on all of our social media accounts for the most up-to-date information on what's going on with our Region 5 alums all season long.
Thanks again for joining us for our NCAA Week 2 recap. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on IG to keep up and support our alums all year long. I will be in South Carolina for a meet until Tuesday, so our Week 3 podcast probably won't be up until Wednesday evening or possibly Thursday morning, so just know that and just give you guys a heads up on that. It will be up by Thursday for sure. Make sure you check out the first annual Golden Girls Classic. 1, because we're going to talk about it, and 2, because Kim's commentating. And then, of course, go green. Or sorry, I said go green, which let me backtrack. Michigan State will love that, Mike. Everyone will watch. Go blue. But what I meant to say is, but the green, because I'm sure they're going to be favored, and they look great, and I'm sure they're going to beat Michigan. But go blue, because of course. We'll have lots to say about those 2 competitions and more as we bring you spine-breaking coverage of our Region 5 alums all season long. Talk to you next week. Follow, like, and subscribe. Peace out, Region 5.
5-5.